If you close your eyes and think of Italy, what do you see? Sun-drenched canals, bustling piazzas, the golden light spilling over the hills of Tuscany. Now, strip all of that away. Forget the tour buses. Forget the crowds. Travel past the highways, past the postcard cities, up into the jagged spines of the Apennines or the vertical cliffs of the south, where the modern world simply gave up trying to pave a way. Welcome to the Borghi Perduti, the lost villages of Italy. These are places where the air smells faintly of wild rosemary, wood smoke, and damp stone, where the streets are too narrow for cars, built instead for donkeys and footsteps that faded centuries ago. In places like Castelmazzano in the Lucanian Dolomites, houses aren't just built on the mountain. They are carved directly out of the living rock, blurring the line between architecture and raw geology. If you are sitting on your couch tonight, just listening, this is Italy breathing in slow motion. Let us journey through 10 of the most breathtaking, unique, and profoundly remote villages this country has to offer, counted down from 10 to 1.
Atti 10. Civita di Bagnoregio, Lazio.
Known poetically as La Città che muore, the city that dies, Civita sits isolated atop a crumbling plateau of friable volcanic tufa clay in central Italy. It is completely cut off from vehicular traffic. Your only way in is a long, sweeping concrete pedestrian footbridge that climbs high above a vast, eroded canyon. Founded by the Etruscans over 2,500 years ago, the village is a maze of ivy-draped stone arches, medieval doorways, and quiet courtyards where fewer than a dozen permanent residents live year-round. As the valley mists roll in at dawn, the entire town appears to float untethered in the sky. 9. Castelmazzano, Basilicata. Tucked deep within the dramatic, jagged peaks of the Lucanian Dolomites in southern Italy, Castelmazzano looks less like a human settlement and more like a falcon's nest. Its stone houses, with their mossy slate roofs, are wedged so tightly against sheer vertical rock faces that they seem to have grown right out of the mountain itself. The streets are steep staircases carved into stone, winding upward until they vanish into crevices of sheer limestone. During the winter months, the surrounding jagged spires catch the snow and sunset light, casting long, dramatic shadows over the silent valley below. 8. Rocca Calascio, Abruzzo. Perched at a staggering altitude of nearly 1,500 meters in the Gran Sasso and Monte della Laga National Park, Rocca Calascio is dominated by one of the highest and most striking fortresses in all of Italy. Built entirely of stark white stone to guard ancient transhumant sheep routes, the windswept ruins overlook a vast, desolate, and hauntingly beautiful high-altitude plateau. Below the fortress lies an abandoned lower medieval village of stone shells, where the howling wind through empty window frames is often the only sound you will hear for miles.
7. Santo Stefano di Sessagno, Abruzzo.
Not far from Rocca Calascio lies Santo Stefano di Sessagno, a remarkably intact medieval fortified village built entirely from local limestone. Its signature feature is the Medici Tower, a peculiar cylindrical tower that stands watch over a labyrinth of vaulted stone tunnels, external staircases, and shadowy alleys. Abandoned for decades following emigration, the village has undergone a unique revival as a diffused hotel, where visitors sleep in restored ancient shepherds' cottages, preserving the rustic, unpolished atmosphere of centuries past.
6. Calcata, Lazio.
Suspended dramatically on a sheer cliff of volcanic rock overlooking the lush Treja River Valley, Calcata feels like a surreal fantasy set. The entire village is a dense web of medieval alleys, ivy-covered stone walls, and hidden cellar doors carved deep into the tufa rock. In the mid-20th century, the original town was deemed structurally unsafe and abandoned, only to be rediscovered and repopulated by eccentric artists, bohemians, and craftsmen who turned its ancient caves into workshops, organic cafes, and labyrinthine studios. 5. Apricale, Liguria. Clinging to a steep green hill in Italy's northwestern region, Apricale is a cascading cluster of pastel and stone houses that tumble down toward a rushing mountain stream. From a distance, it looks like a stone wave frozen mid-crash. The village is famous for its intricate maze of covered passageways called Corughi, stone walls painted with whimsical modern murals, and the looming presence of the Castello dello Lucertola at its absolute apex. It is a quiet sanctuary where olive groves surround the settlement on every side, smelling of brine and ancient trees.
4. Castelluccio di Norcia, Umbria.
Perched high on a ridge overlooking the vast, high-altitude tectonic basin known as the Piano Grande, Castelluccio is a village forged in resilience. Surrounded by sweeping plains that transform into a vibrant, multicolored carpet of wildflowers every late spring, the famous Fioritura, the village sits at the mercy of the elements. Though deeply scarred by recent seismic activity, its persistent spirit remains tied to the earth. Famous for cultivating some of the finest mountain lentils in the world in an environment so isolated it feels like the roof of the world. 3. Gangi, Sicily. Rising like a stepped pyramid of terracotta and stone out of the golden hills of the Madoni Mountains, Gangi is a masterpiece of Sicilian interior isolation. Its dense, tightly packed houses spill down a dramatic ridge toward a sweeping valley view that stretches all the way to Mount Etna on a clear day. Beneath its surface lies a subterranean labyrinth of crypts and ancient chambers, while its upper streets offer a profound sense of timelessness, far removed from the bustling coastal tourism of the island.
2. Atrani, Campania.
While its neighbor Amalfi draws thousands of roaring Vespas and sunseekers, tiny Atrani, tucked just around the coastal cliff, remains a deeply traditional, quiet fishing village frozen in an older era. Clinging vertically to the steep limestone cliffs of the Amalfi coast, its tightly knit white houses face a small crescent beach where local fishermen still mend their nets by hand. At night, the village lights up like a nativity scene, completely sheltered from the frantic highway traffic by its historic cliffside tunnels. 1. Zavatarello, Lombardy. At the very top of our list sits Zavatarello, tucked deep within the rolling, wooded hills of the remote Oltrepò Pavese, dominated by the formidable, perfectly preserved Castello Scaliger, a fortress entirely made of grey stone that has stood guard over the valley since the 10th century. The village is a masterclass in medieval architecture. Its steep, cobblestone pathways wind past stone courtyards, quiet gardens, and ancient watchtowers with zero modern intrusion. It represents the purest, most undisturbed archetype of rural northern Italian history. For the traveler brave enough to leave the railway lines behind, these remote hamlets demand a different kind of journey. You cannot do these villages on a tight tour schedule. Here is the unvarnished reality on the ground. The transport rule: high-speed trains will get you close, but to truly reach places like Civita di Bagnarijo, perched precariously on a crumbling tufa cliff and reachable only by a long pedestrian footbridge, you must rent a car. Be prepared for strada provinciali, narrow, winding provincial roads where hairpin turns offer terrifyingly beautiful drop-offs. The rhythm of the day: forget standard tourist hours. In many of these remote spots, the concept of a midday break is sacred. Between 1:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m., shops close, streets empty out, and the village falls into a deep, heavy silence. The culinary isolation: you won't find international menus here. You will eat what the microclimate dictates. In the mountain hamlets of Abruzzo or Basilicata, that means hearty lentil stews, wild boar, and pecorino aged in natural caves. Order the local house wine. It usually comes from a vineyard you can see right outside the window, unlabeled and poured from a plain glass bottle. Now let's look at this through a different lens. For years, headlines have flashed across the world. Buy an Italian house in a remote village for €1. It sounds like a dream for someone looking to escape the noise, reinvent their life, or find a sanctuary for a quieter pace. But let's look past the romantic fantasy and examine the relocation blueprint. 1. The cost versus hidden investment. Yes, a home in a depopulated southern or central village can cost next to nothing. But those famous €1 homes come with legal contracts requiring thousands of euros in mandatory renovations within a strict time frame. If you buy a habitable stone house instead, expect prices ranging from €30,000 to €80,000, a fraction of city prices, but paired with high logistical hurdles. 2. The infrastructure reality. Fiber optic internet is reaching more of rural Italy, but satellite or spotty DSL can still be a reality in deep mountain valleys. If your dream relies on seamless remote work or heavy digital connectivity, you must test the local signal block by block. 3. Bureaucracy and the anagrafe. Moving here means dealing with Italian small-town bureaucracy. Registering your residency at the local commune requires patience that tests the human soul. 4. The social dynamic. These villages are tight-knit ecosystems. Winters can be bitterly cold, quiet, and profoundly isolating. The same stone walls that keep the modern world out can also make it difficult to break into local social circles. You are not moving to a resort. You are integrating into a living, aging community that requires respect, patience, and ideally, conversational Italian. Whether you experience these places through the glow of a screen, pack your bags for a rugged weekend off-grid, or dare to breathe new life into an abandoned stone cottage, Italy's remote villages remind us of a vanishing truth: that silence, history, and a slower human scale still exist. Would you brave the winding mountain roads to find them? Or do you prefer them as a secret world preserved just for your imagination? Let me know in the comments below, and hit subscribe as we map out our next destination.